So today I thought I would bring out a new bundle. It's called Beauty of Friendship. How perfect for you and I, Carol. Beauty of Friendship. I think you're going to really love this one. And I'm going to show you the papers. It's kind of all about trees, really. Wait till you see these papers. I've already been cutting into them already. Oh, I should show you this card I just made. So on Saturday, I was in an all afternoon meeting. It was all the demonstrators on Vancouver Island. So there was well over 100 demonstrators in this afternoon of creativity. And so we had some demonstrators that actually did presentations of what's coming new in the annual catalog. And that goes live tomorrow, May 4th. So we're all really, really excited. I've already got another order ready to place. And so some of them did product demonstrations, mostly on the suites that are in the catalog. So a suite is stamp set, dies or punch, and papers and matching ribbons, and maybe matching matching, what do I want to say, pearls or sequins or something like that. So those are the suites. So there were a couple of presentations on those. And of course, when they showed the products, then they showed all the different samples that they'd made. And it was absolutely amazing to see the creativity of what they've made. And when a new catalog is suddenly out there, there's not much out there in Pinterest or YouTube using these new products. So you have to create right out of your head, really. But, you know, you again go back to your card layouts or your sketches or other cards that you've made and do the same thing. Hi, Christine. Good morning. So I wanted to show you this card. This was one of the cards. Oh, and then we had two what we call Create With Me sessions. They're like make and takes. So the demonstrators who are doing that, they send us ahead of time all of the cardstock measurements like I do with you guys. And then we get all of our materials ready, and we can pick whatever stamp set we want to use. If we don't have the one that they're demonstrating, you can use anything, much like we do here this morning. We pick whatever we want. Anyway, check out this card. So I'm going to do this as a Fun Fold Friday video one week. So what I loved about this was the different border here. So, you know, rather than sticking to 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch, this is a little bit different. I did get this paper on a little bit crooked, but there's just a tiny, tiny border around here in that Mary Merlot. And my favorite season is the fall. So I absolutely adore the colors that are in this set. So, but watch this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that, girls. Isn't that fun? This pop-up card, and it was so stupidly easy to make. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so we made that, and we made another card, but I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not going to show you. But it was another interactive card. It was a pocket card, a double pocket card, and that was fun too. So that'll be another Fun Fold Friday. Anyway, check out these papers. These are absolutely stunning. So again, you get 2 of each. I'll get rid of these pieces here. Okay. And so this is the back of one of them, and then you've got these trees here. And these are one of the presenters. She actually just, you know, cut these out as a strip and made 3 rows of trees on a card. It was really effective. So, or this complete border is so cool. And then that's the back, of course. And then this is just splotchy with lots of colors. I love this one. They almost look like blackberries or berries of some kind on there, but I think they're meant to just be leaves of a tree. But just check out all those colors. And some of the colors in here, of course, are the new in colors. Okay, and there's the back of that page. Look at that page. Hey, Christine, wouldn't that be a great scrapbook page with a photo right in the center? That's kind of a cool piece too. Look at those colors of leaves. I absolutely love the fall. Carol and I, you know, we're in Montreal, and so we know all about fall colors. And then check out this one for maybe a winter scene or a foggy scene on the west coast of Canada. Look at that. That's kind of cool. And then this beautiful green, and it's, I'm going to see. Excuse me, ladies. I felt that sneeze coming. This has also got some blues in here. That's going to be a beautiful card. This blue is our Misty Moonlight. It's just gorgeous. So that's those cards. That. And then everybody was raving about this gorgeous sky. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic with some clouds? I can just see a plane flying in there through those clouds. And then look at this one. This is pretty. I just love the blues with the oranges. It's really cool. So that's another gorgeous sheet. And then I think I have one more to show you. This is the back of one, and then this one. This is just stunning. This would also make a good scrapbook page. But what I love about this is if you cut this down 4 and 4, and then in half, you get lots of card fronts. The graduation into the card is into the sky. Isn't that cool? Love that sheet. And then the back is that green. Look at those green trees. Love that too. And then we have one more here. Yeah, look at that. Just a forest. Love it. Need to add a few little birds in there. Isn't that cool? And then there's a wood grain. So 2 sheets of each pattern. Absolutely stunning. Nice and thick. They make great little boxes. Like can you hear it? It's really nice and thick paper. Gorgeous papers. Okay, so we're going to do something with this today. Okay, and just put this away and this away. So I haven't prepared anything yet. I thought I would do it all from scratch. Okay, now this is the stamp set. Yeah, I'm just looking at your comments. The gray tones and the foggy feeling. Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Okay, sorry, I missed you, Christine. That's my favorite. Which one was your favorite? I should have been looking at my comments as I went. Which one was your favorite? You could frame those papers and hang them. Yes, many of our papers, if you got a 12 by 12 frame, you could easily frame any of our papers. Like, look at that. That would be just beautiful. I can just see that in my bedroom. It's just gorgeous because that's a complete scene, isn't it? The one that the card sample was made with. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this one, the faded out trees. I know, isn't that gorgeous? I think that's almost my favorite too. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so let's take a look at our card sketch. Are either of you creating this morning? Now I want to show you Stampin' Up. Now with this new catalog, they've come up with a new kind of a new way of storing your stamps. Same container, you know, same images on the front, but what they've done is instead of having I should drag out an old stamp set if I have one handy. Instead of having the images on this plastic sheet that you would store them on, they've put the images on the inside back cover. So now you're just sticking your stamps to the cover, which I love it. I think it's really cool. Now you don't have to fiddle with these sheets. You don't even have to keep this if you don't want to. I mean, there's your stamp set. Isn't that cool? And then you can see exactly if there's one missing because the image is on the back. Yeah, I just love that idea. But I've just kept this sheet to put on top. But just because it's new, probably I'll get rid of that. Yeah. So anyway, those are the stamps. So you've got a nice tree. And then you've got a variety of different tree styles. And these short ones can be bushes too. And then there's a little bit of a shadow dirt piece or grass piece to go beneath the tree. And then here are your, and there's some splotches. I always love when they include a splotch. And this one, friendships refresh the soul. Isn't that true, ladies? And then you can layer these if you want. Okay, now check these out. These are the dies. And these dies are super cool. So here's your tree. So some of the samples this lady had done was, she just did 2 layers of tree. She like did a dark brown and then a light brown behind it and offset them a little bit, so it kind of looked like a bit of a shadow. And there's another little tree branch in here. So there's 2 trees that you can cut out. Okay, so there's this tree. You can stamp this and cut it out, and then this one is just a bigger one. And then you've got the outlines of the trees, and then you also do get a couple of little birds that you could put up in the trees, and you get a little label thing. And then this one's really cool. This one cuts out this large tree here. Now these images are at 90%, okay, so that's not the full image, but that cuts out a tree. And then this is really cool. This cuts out like leaves. So cool. And there's actually 2 label stamps in here. Okay, so I'm going to create with these. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I shall see how we go with those. It'll be fun, I think. All right, let's take a look at our sketch here. So I'm going to pull out some colors from here. I'm going to pull out... so my card base is 5.5 by 8.5 folded in half. So I might want to use some of this paper. So I'm going to pull out this blue. I love this blue. I'm going to pull out, let's see, I'll just pull out a few different cardstocks. Okay, so here are some of the cardstock colors. Let me just look on my sheet here. We've got, okay, let me just see if this color is in here. No, this one is not in here. That's Cajun Craze. Okay, so this is the Cinnamon Cider. I just love that color. Cinnamon Cider. Oh, there is Cajun. Oh, no, I don't have Cajun Craze. Hang on. This is the Mossy Meadow. This is Misty Moonlight. Okay, there's Mary Merlot, another beautiful fall color. Sorry, I just wanted to pull out just so you can see how gorgeous all of these colors are. Okay, so these are the colors. So here's the Bumblebee, gorgeous fall color. And then there's a Cajun Craze. I just love it when we have lots of colors in our cardstocks. Okay, so this is the Bumblebee, Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider. I'm going to put them all together. Cinnamon Cider. Oh, I forgot to get Early Espresso. That's a dark, dark brown. Here's a Mary Merlot. I'm going to get that Early Espresso. Okay, so here's the Early Espresso. Mary Merlot. Okay, Misty Moonlight is the blue. But look how great that blue goes with those. Mossy Meadow is this darker green. Mossy Meadow. I'm super excited about this just because it's fall. Mossy Meadow. Night of Navy. Here's the other blue. Night of Navy. Sorry, Old Olive. One of my favorite greens. Old Olive. And then with the white. Okay, there's your colors. Okay, so I'm going to decide on using the Misty Moonlight as my card base. So let's pull out, where's my card sketch? Okay, so Mossy Meadow. So I need my trimmer. And this is 5.5 by 8.5. So 5.5. by 8.5, and then we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Make sure you use your score blade. Okay, so there's my card base. Okay, now I've got this piece that's 2.5 by 5. So what I could do is I could do this piece and this piece as DSP. Why not? Why don't we show off this gorgeous DSP? So let's do it out of this paper here. Now, I always start, when I have my 12 by 12 sheets, doesn't matter what my measurement is that I need right now, I always start by cutting them in 4-inch strips, okay? And watch your orientation. This paper doesn't have any orientation. Well, the sky does. So when you're cutting your paper, if you're going to make this as a portrait style, you want to make sure, you know, it's oriented the right way. So I'm going to do this at 4 inches. And I won't do the 3 strips right now, but I'll just do 1. So I do this at 4 inches. Okay. And then my next cut always is 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4 is always your first layer on a card. And then I cut from there. So I will cut this also at 5 1/4. And then you always end up with this strip that you can cut in half, and then you can put inside your card. Okay, you can, this is your leftover. Okay. All right, so what do we want? We want a piece that is 2.5 by 5. Okay, 2.5 by 5. I might do the sky in the background. So 2.5 by 5. Okay, that's just scrap right there. Not really scrap, it's recycle. Okay, so that's my one piece. That's going to go on my card base, the blue, like that. Okay, 2.5 by 5, and then I want this piece is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. So 2 1/4. I need to cut another one. 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. 4 1/2. Okay, so there's this piece. It's going to go like this. Okay. Now, this one, I'm going to build something on there. So I think I'll make that Whisper White. And this almost looks like, it said Whisper White, but it almost looks like very vanilla. But I think I'm going to stick with Whisper White. Okay, so for this piece, yeah, they're just rich and gorgeous colors. You're right, ladies. Love them, love them, love them. And I know this has come out now. I mean, these are really, to me, fall cards. But, I mean, they're summer as well. And, you know, we have a variety of different trees. I have a tree that we planted at the front that's called, I think it's called a sunset tree. So it's got lots of different colors. It's got oranges and reds in it all year round, which is really cool. They put those trees up in a lot of parking lots in shopping malls called the sunset tree. I've seen a lot of the sunset trees down where you live, Carol. Lots of them. Okay, so I need a piece of white now. That, oh my gosh, you should see my craft room. It's just a disaster zone again. I've always got so much on the go. I've got my butterflies sitting here. Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of white. Here's a piece of white. And then I want, this piece is 2.5 by 3 3/4. So 2.5 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Okay, so that's going to go on here like this somehow. Okay, and then we've got this little thing that could be a little embellishment of, or that could be your, doesn't have to be a heart, of course, but that could be your sentiment piece now. So I have to decide what I'm doing here with these stamps. So this piece here, it's not very big, so I might want to do this smaller tree. And I feel like I want to, you know, cut it out and pop it out just because I can. so I've got this little, oh, and I'm going to do an envelope. I've got this little tree here. So let's find a block to put this on there. Okay, I've got this little tree, and so I can cut that out with the, whoops. On the floor it goes. So I can cut that out with this. So I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. It's our darkest brown. Now I need scrap paper for cutting stuff out. Okay, so we're going to stamp this. I was just saying to myself last week that a lot of my inks are starting to dry out. I need to pull out my re-inkers and spend a morning doing re-inking. Yeah, see, that could be a lot darker than it is, but we'll have to do for today. Okay, and then, yeah, let's see how this 2-time stamping works. So this is the tree top. Now I haven't played with this set yet, so this is all experimentation, ladies. That's kind of the exciting part of it. So I'm going to do so I'm going to cut out that tree, and then I can cut out, when I've stamped this, I can cut that out. Let's do a couple of birds, of course. I'm going to do some birds. Got to decide on the color. And oh, let's see. We've got to decide on color. I need a light on a dark. So let's do yeah, let's do a bumblebee, because that's one of the colors. So let's do bumblebee. Now I should have my silicone mat under here as I stamp to give it some cushion. But this is graduated in color. Can you see that? How it goes from dark to light. That's really, really cool. God, it just takes away all the, you know, if you're not an artist, it's just fantastic. Just creates it for you. So let's see. What color should I put on here? How about the Cajun Craze? That was a color, wasn't it? No, I've forgotten already. Or I could do Cinnamon Cider. But was Cajun Craze on there? Yes, it was. Okay, well, I'm going to pull out Cinnamon Cider. There we go. It's similar, but it's a lighter color. Okay, so this has some texture on it. So I'm going to put that right on top. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cool? So imagine the color combinations you can do on here. Yellows with greens, or, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. Okay, so let me pull in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll bring it in right here, but I have to cut these down. Because that platform is not very wide. And then we'll do so I'm going to use my little post-it flags here. Okay, let me just pull in my machine. And let me pull in my plates. So I need my base plate, number 1. Then I need my cutting plate, which is number 2. And then a second cutting plate, number 2. That's all I need. Okay, and I'm going to just do one at a time. Now, if I was using a bigger machine, I could do both at once, but that's okay. Now, I don't know if any of you, Lena, did you order this machine or no? Anyway, did you know you have to stagger the plates? You have to kind of step them down, not butt them all up together, because they go through the machine a lot better. Okay, so let's cut this out. I just love how I can bring this to my desk though. No, you don't have it yet. Well, I say yet. I mean, you don't have to get this. Okay. So look at that cute little tree. Okay. And then let's cut out this guy. Okay. See, these flags are amazing. I keep telling you, these flags are amazing because they don't rip your paper. Now we want to do some little birds. Okay, maybe we'll do these in the dark color because if they're in the trees, they're going to be dark. So let's pull out a bit of Night of Navy. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys this question. Okay, so how often, like, is it, you know, when you craft, is it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week that you lose things on your desk when you're crafting? Okay, now where's my top plate? Oh, here it is. I mean, I don't know. I should have like a little plate or something here, and then when I've cut something out, I could drop it in the plate. I don't know, I've just got a lot of stuff on my desk right now. I should have been better prepared. When I created my my business name, I think I should have called myself Crafting on the Fly or the Messy Crafter. That would have been ideal for me, the Messy Crafter. Carol, you've seen my craft room. You know what it's like. Okay, I think we're done with this, maybe. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That tickles up my nose. Okay, so you get to cut 2 birds with 1 stone. Cut 2 birds with 1 pass. Okay, there's my little birds. Let's not lose those now. 2 little birds. 3 die cuts. Get rid of that. Here's my tree. So it's going to be a shame to sort of cover up the tree, but you know, we just have to cover up the tree. But isn't that cool? You could do a whole bunch of trees that are naked on a project. Be kind of cool. Okay, so what are we going to do with this now? So here's our piece. So I think I can start gluing some pieces in here. So here's my sketch. oh, oh yeah, I'm using that other piece anyway. I was going to say it's a shame to cover up that design, but we're going to do both designs. So let me just glue this down. So here's our sky piece. So it's got about 1/4 of an inch, if not more. I could have left this at 5 1/4, I think, but that's okay. So that's that piece. And then we're going to do this piece like this. When you use coordinating colors, your cardstock with your DSP, that's why Stampin' Up! Has become, you know, so popular, famous, because you don't have to think about the colors. You just pull them out and everything coordinates. You cannot go wrong with your design when stuff coordinates. Okay, so we have this piece, and then we're going to have this piece here with the tree. Now, what I might do is I think we're going to do a bit of sponging, because this is looking awfully plain, isn't it, ladies? Maybe I should have done 2 trees. You know what? Just came up with a brilliant idea. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit of sponging here. I think I'm going to sponge to create some dark or some blue sky. So I'm going to bring out our blending brushes, which are fabulous. These are our brand new blending brushes. They came out in the last spring catalog. These are absolutely fantastic, and they're way less expensive than other craft supply houses. Okay, and even the ones on Amazon, I mean, they mostly sell them as makeup brushes, and you get like a pack of 10 or 12. Well, you don't need 10 or 12, and you don't need all the different sizes. So Stampin' Up! Just does the one size, and then you can have multiple colors. Okay, and the key thing is you don't wash them. Okay, don't wash them. You just rub them on paper to get the ink out for your next color. Or you could devote a brush to each of the color family, like red, blues, and greens. Okay, so I'm going to pull in my Balmy Blue. And when you sponge, you don't go on your paper and start going around and round. You always have to come in off an edge. Okay, so you come off an edge and then you move on to the paper. Okay. I'm just going to keep moving down so it gets lighter and lighter. Then to clean it, you're just going to, you know, keep rubbing it on a scrap piece of paper until it comes fairly clean. So I could reserve this for all the different blues that I use, but they usually rub pretty clean. And before next use, I rub them again. Okay, so that's the blue, and I might add a bit of green sponging on here. So let's pick out a pale Pear Pizzazz. This is a good pale green. And I'm just going to pull out another brush. See how stained this one is, but there's no color really. There's a little bit of yellow coming out, but that's okay. So I'm going to turn my paper over so that the ground is a little bit darker. So again, I'm going to come off the paper and come up to meet the blue. And you could keep applying the color as much as you want. Always losing stuff every single time. Yeah. Yeah, the magnet idea is a great idea. And as a matter of fact, I have a magnet tray. It's a, you know, it's like a for nuts and bolts for guys crafting in their workshop. I have that tray, but it's filled with other stuff right now. It's filled with paper stuff right now. But yeah, I should pull that out. Of course, it's kind of big. I should pull out this other magnet that I have and just put them on there. That's a great idea, and then I wouldn't lose them. Okay, so there is that. And then in the stamp set, there is this little grounding piece, because you don't want your tree floating up in midair. So let's put this on a block. Okay, and we'll just do this in, I don't know, maybe just a crumb cake. I might not want it too dark. Now, what I thought I was going to do, I'm going to stamp as if there's trees in the background. Let me just see what I'm going to do here. Okay, let's pull out the early espresso again. Yes, it is ombre, the sponging method. So I'm going to do a tree here. And I'm going to do another tree. I don't know. I'm crafting on the fly here, ladies, so just bear with me. Let's do another tree here. Okay. And then my main tree is going to go here. And let's see. So this is going to be my main tree. And then I should have cut out a few more of these on here. Wonder what it would look like if I stamped on top of them. All right, let's give that a go. So this was, let's see if this is gonna work. I mean, it's abstract, right? It's not supposed to look like a photograph. Yeah, that was the darker color. So this is the yellow. We'll just see what this is going to look like on the blue. I think it'll be fine. Okay. And then we'll pull in the cinnamon cider. So I'm just building up a bit of a scene here. I don't know if I've done these upside down. What do you guys think? Maybe I should have stamped it the other way with the narrow at the top. I don't know. I have to play with that. And they kind of look a bit, I don't know about that. Okay, so now this tree, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. I have to re-ink this stamp, but I'm going to just take my marker now. So we have matching markers, and I'm just going to color in the trunk here just to make it a bit darker. I want it darker. Okay. So we're going to glue this right on top. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to use my snail. And put my tree on. Okay. And then I'm going to take my dimensionals. I have some little ones as well. So let's put a couple of these on here. And I'm going to grab my little ones. I'll just use these black ones. And where's my take your pick tool? It just fits. But I think I need to cut this in half. This one has to be a little bit more narrow, I think. There we go. They usually pop right off. Okay. Oh, now before I do this, hang on. We should glue this onto our card. So this is going here, like this. Okay, so I'm going to just put some glue on here. So, Lena, you were there on Saturday, weren't you? Because remember that tip I told you I couldn't get this started, so you just drag it on your silicone mat. Isn't that a great tip? Love that tip. Okay, let's put this in here like this. Then we're going to put this on top. Like that. I'm not sure about this card, ladies. I think I should have done a darker green down here. I don't know. Okay, maybe we'll do a bird in the tree. Let's get a bit of glue. Where's my Tombow glue gone? This one is pretty well empty, I think. Oh. Just when you think it's empty, I'm going to bring down my tweezers. Yeah, my problems with my tape runner are getting less and less now. I'm doing way better with it. Oh, I don't know where to stick this bird. Let's just stick him right here. Okay, so that's the card for today. Now, for the inside, you could stamp another tree. I have some pre-cut cardstock on here. So you could do any number of things on here. You could stamp another tree. I could put another bird in the tree because I have this extra bird here. You could take a piece of that extra piece that you had, and I could cut this in half. I love doing that. Maybe I'm going to trim that and put that on the bottom. So let's just trim this. I never waste those pieces when you cut your cardstock. So let's glue that on the inside. So one of the keys to using this tape runner is you have to not press down. Once it sticks to the paper, you need no pressure. So if I can give you any hints, Lena, that's one of them. Okay, look at that. That's kind of cool. And now what we haven't done a greeting on here. We could do a greeting. I like this thinking of you, and I think there was a die cut for it too, but I think I'll just cut it out. Let's see, thinking of you. That's a nice one. Because I always have just these strips of paper lying around when I cut my cardstock. You see, I have these, and I think I'm going to do this in Night of Navy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Christine. I'm going to add that sentiment on the front, and you're right, it might pull it all together. I don't know. I just don't think my sponging background was the right color. Okay, let's just trim this off. Yes, isn't that awful? I even used a trimmer just to cut this. Now that ink might be a bit wet, so I have to be careful. Okay, let's see if this pulls it together. So we're going to put this on the inside. And the other tip is to drag it along pretty well upright, and then I just bend it backwards and push, and then you don't get those icky tails all the time. When I first got, when Stampin' Up came out with this tape runner in the beginning, I was ready to just pull my hair out. I hated it, and I thought, I am not buying it. I'm not recommending it to my customers, but I persevered, you know, and I kept going, and finally it works for me. That's not to say maybe the first roll was defective somehow. Okay, here's my sentiment now. Oh, I think you're right, Christine. That might just pull that together. Now these will have to be on dimensionals because they're going to straddle this tree here. So I'm going to put one on this end and one on the other end. Okay. I'm going to have it slide off the other side too, I think. There you go.